Oh, it's such an honor. It's such an great opportunity to come to a festival that focuses on the art of the cinematographer. And I've been hearing about the festival for years from Ed Lockman, my DP, of my last 3 films, and we've won prizes for 2 other films that we've done here that he came for, and so this award was offered to us as a team. And that meant a great deal to me, so I wanted to come here for that. I think in my case, it's about communication, and it's about spending as much time talking about what this particular universe that we're about to enter looks like, sounds like, and there's almost always a set of rules that are distinct for every single project, and it's like a rule book that you create, and those rules and their logic are the things that you hold on to and you maintain, and you don't break those rules, and it gives each film its own character and its own visual integrity. I had seen Ed's work before I even knew it was Ed's work, and I do remember it was when I saw his film Light Sleeper, Paul Schrader's movie, that was the first time I went, who shot this? I got to work with this guy. This is so beautiful, so subtly and expertly visualized. These scenes of Willem Dafoe in a car at night with the shadows crawling across his face the way, I remember growing up in Los Angeles. And that's when I then I looked back at his films and went, oh, he did that one, and he did that one, and he did that one. So when I was starting to plan for Far From Heaven, I thought it would be a great opportunity to work with somebody like Ed. It's really his emergence out of European art cinema, and that really was where he got a lot of his training. And then came to New York and worked with the Maisels, and then got into the independent film scene. And that's where we sort of found each other. Our paths crossed at that point. It was, although again, we didn't look at that film. I haven't watched it in years. It didn't have a bearing on what we were trying to do, because I really wanted to tell a different story, a story that the book offered.
More contemporary, I think.
Yeah, and slower and more subtle, and not a film noir, not squeezed into the sort of black and white options that female characters are given in the film noir lexicon, which is really 2. You're either ultimately a good woman or a bad woman. And that's sort of what hangs over the Curtiz film, is who's guilty and who's innocent, who's good, who's bad. And by the end, but the story, the novel, shows such a complicit relationship between mother and daughter that shows all these good intentions being played out to a sort of pathological degree that I think implicates more of us into the story than the original film version does, which is more of a crime story, so it has a sort of escapist feel about it. It's more about people who we are not like, and this is about people we are like, and I think that's an important difference. Oh, there's so many different ways that music can be filmed as music, and in many ways I think of cinema itself as a musical medium, because it's linear and that it has to function emotionally and non-verbally the way cinematography functions for it to really work. It has to function like music does to draw us into its language without language, without a cognitive framework. It has to be intuitive and in a weird way subconscious, and that's what the best films do. So music is an obvious companion to the cinematic experience, and whether a film is about music or not. It so happens that some of my films are also really about the culture of music and subjects who are music makers. So it just opens up so many varieties of the ways music is handled, and I'm not there. Every possible way is shown. Same with Velvet Goldmine. Stage performances, sort of rock video performances, and then just where the music really functions to link scenes and characters together and tell a continuous story over time. In a way, that's the most sort of poetic use of music and maybe the most exciting for a director or a storyteller.